Okay, folks, and we are live. Welcome to today's open mic. My name is Angie. I am the founder of the Dominican Writers Association, and today we are celebrating National Poetry Month with how many poets do we have here? About 15 Dominican poets that we're highlighting, and we're showcasing their talent. We want you to enjoy tonight. So, yeah, vamos a darle. ¿Con quién empezamos? Vamos a empezar con Lisa, ¿tú talita?
Yo, this is the second open mic this month that I get called on first. Voy a tener que llegar tarde. Hi, everybody. It is a pleasure and an honor to be here with you all today. I'm so happy to be outside, como quien dice. I've been a hermit. I've been in my shell. I've been doing the absolute most. But I am happy to be in this space with you all, with people I love and respect. Y nada, vamos a darle. First, I'm going to start off with my very own book, Como que papel me envuelves la luna. And I just realized we're matching, and that wasn't even intentional. Pero vamos a empezar con este. This is the second poem in the book. It's on page 13 if you have the book. But this was the very first poem I ever wrote when I met my husband. The very first weekend we met, and esto fue lo que salió. Back then se llamaba Poco Tiempo, but the title is Alquimia. En tan poco tiempo, en la pista terminamos, bailando a nuestro propio tempo. Me dio su mano, mi corazón tembló. Ojos color miel, qué química entre él y yo. Suave e intoxicante el calor de su piel. Con un gran deseo me dejó. Me encantaría volverlo a ver, su aroma, volver a oler. Hermosa su sonrisa, horrible tener que marcharme con tanta prisa. Tremenda noche aquella, vuelta en su motocicleta, bajo la luna y las estrellas. La boca me seducía, con su lengua lisa y atrevida. Cada beso anticipaba que a mi cama quería hacerle una visita. Bienvenido a mi patio, yo lo invito. Le prometo, se irá bienvenido. Un poco herido, destruido, en su oído sentirá mi ruido. Thank you.
¿Cómo?
Ese amor en primera vista estaba encendido. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. All right, up next, Yaissa.
Hello, ¿cómo están? Espero estén súper bien. Yo voy a hacer, bueno, un poema en honor a los estudiantes que están ahora haciendo su lucha, ¿verdad? Free Palestine, Free Congo, Free Haiti. El poema fue hecho exactamente para eso, para evitar el shadow ban de Instagram, decir lo que tengo que decir sin decir 3 palabras que ellos banean, ¿verdad? El poema dice, no hagan nada, no se muevan. Dejen que las injusticias se les resbalen por el cuerpo y no vean solo por su propio bienestar. No levanten la mano, ni un dedo. Dejen la palma limpia. Exfolien con cal cada levantamiento, corazas de rebelión. Chupen la lágrima, saquen los dientes. Y como caballo, pónganse solo para lo suyo. Y mueran un día. Y vuélvanse ancestres. Ideas viejas que en el éter ahora comprenden la razón del dolor universal. Y no podrán comunicar eso. No habrá legado de amor que les conecte con la voluntad viva. Llorarán eternamente el vacío que dejaron en esa carne sin aliento. Vacía les quedará la voz ancestral. Acabada la escucha de quienes te quedan aquí comiendo, bebiendo, siendo. No tendrán guía invisible porque tú, con tu indiferencia al dolor de la tierra, demoliste la fuente que les llevará a beber de la vida completa. Gracias.
Yes, wow. Me da tanta pena ver esos videos y como este país doesn't give a crap at all. At all. But, gracias, Yaissa, por mantener los estudiantes en tu presente. Up next, vamos a llamar a Alejo.
I was hoping I was the next. My name is Alejo Rodriguez. It's my second time performing ever, so I'm still new to this. I'm so honored to be with all you amazing artists here. And Angie, thank you for this and everybody watching. My first poem is called Grandma. It's dedicated to my grandma who passed away 2 years ago. So it's dedicated to her. Can anybody hear me well? Okay. It's called Grandma. You left, but I wasn't ready to let you go. I said you could go, but I didn't mean it at all. I just didn't want you in pain anymore. I would take the pain away if I could, trade my life for yours, even though you live until 91, because life without me, you've experienced. Life without you, though, I haven't. Seems unreal. This alternate reality isn't working for me. Who am I supposed to talk to, laugh with, hug, hold, kiss on the forehead, and hold hands with? Who's going to pray for me like you did? I swear you had a direct line to God. Now you're an angel in his kingdom, hopefully proud of me. I need to hear you. I need to feel you. I need to know you're okay because I'm definitely not, and I probably never will.
Thank you. I think that resonated so much with me because I was so close to my grandparents. And when they passed away, that was an impact, that you are never ready for. So thank you so much, Alejo. Up next, vamos a llamar a Aurelia.
I knew it deep in my soul. I knew I was next. What's up, y'all? I'm Aurelia, and I'm gonna read this poem for you all. It's titled Soy de aquí, soy de allá. This was submitted to a text for poem program we have here in Jersey City that's run by a really good friend of mine. And basically, you can text these 4 Jersey City street names to one phone number, and you get 4 different poems every month. And this was part of the first round of the poems. The majority of times, I've slid into the leather backseat of an Uber. My drivers are Dominicanos, de allá. Accents hung on their rearview mirrors while they practiced masking themselves with the English language. Shock enters their Caribbean systems when I put on mi lenguaje como un traje bello hecho a mano en Santo Domingo. Ah, yo pensaba que usted era negra. How to break down that I am Black. Blackness runs from the tips of my fluffy coils down to my soft pink soles. How to hang your dirty laundry when it relates to being any form of Black. Afro y Latina, mis padres también son negros. Mami lo niega y papi ni lo piensa. After making the wild discoveries that you can be Black and simultaneously be Latino, we talked the whole trip, as if we met on the island of Quisqueya while tomando una fría and immersing ourselves in bachata and fritura, in negritud, in salud, in amor. Thank you.
Thank you, Aurelia. Thank you so much. All right, up next, Massiel.
Hello, guys and girls. I'm going to start off by reading a poem from my book, of course, Handful of Poems. Yeah, and it goes like this. Falling in love with me is hard. Fall in love with me. Nobody ever makes it out. At least not as a complete person. I'm not saying that I would destroy you, but I'll take a piece of you that I will never give back. Fall in love with me. I'll kidnap your emotions and rename them after me, so that every time you are with her and she asks you to describe what loving her feels like, you'll be forced to explain me. Thank you.
El Diablo. Okay. Oh, Divina Juventud. Let's go. Dhayana.
Hello, people. Super happy to be here. I see familiar faces and friends that I love and care so much for. Thank you for having us, Angie. Today I'm going to start with a poem titled The Answer. What is poetry to you? They asked. And a million answers ran through my mind. I felt chills in my spine, and memories I thought dead woke up in the attic of my mind. Poetry has a soft spot in my heart, a teacher, a healer, a reflection, a path, a never-ending journey, an addiction I cannot deny. Poetry is not a place, but a sanctuary within, a historical pathway to all that was before me, to all that I am now and who I will be. Poetry is a magic that will always outlive me. Poetry is a calling that pulls me in, and sometimes I fight back, but I always end up surrendering. You will see the white flag. Poetry has seen me naked, but never hurt me like others have. It helped me find my rhythm, trust the words screaming inside. Poetry taught me power. It unraveled my tongue, made my accent sharper like a forged sword ready for battle. Poetry is my go-to, my partner in crime. I could go through hell and high water, and poetry will have my back. It will hold my hand without me asking. Make love to my mind, save me from my darkest hour, my antidote to suicide. Poetry is the fire in my throat. The way my ancestors said fuck you to those who wanted to chain their voice. Poetry is resistance, a voice for those who could not speak, the voice of those who refused to stay quiet. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Diana. Okay, Yariana.
Hi everyone. My name is Yariana. Tonight, like Massiel and Lisa, I'm gonna be also reading from my book. This is my favorite poem from my book, so a lot of you have heard it already, but this is Balada Descalza. Te conocí bajo la sombra de una palmera y en el reflejo de tus ojos encontré la dulzura del mismo coco que compartimos esa tarde. Sé que no te volveré a ver, así que toma este poema como un adiós. Bébetelo como un jugo de chinola y recuerda que te amé. Te amé como las hormigas aman las fresas y como las abejas aman las flores. Te amé con toda la naturaleza de mi ser y con toda la facilidad que Dios quiso. Amarte no se me hizo difícil, pero tampoco fue fácil. Por favor, entiéndeme cuando digo que tus besos son como el agua salada del mar. Es divertido salpicar un poco, pero si me hundo demasiado jamás volveré a subir. Después de acostumbrarme a tus ocurrencias saladas, todo me sabe desabrido. Tú hiciste que mi mundo se vuelva insípido y todo se siente incompleto sin la dulzura de tu risa. No entiendo cómo tu sal sabe dulce, pero sí entiendo que es hora de irme, lejos de ti, lejos de nosotros, hacia un río para buscar agua fresca. Necesito refrescar mi paladar y tratar cosas que no sepan a tus labios. Me duele decir las palabras que hieren como un cuchillo en la espalda, pero no soy yo, eres tú. Tu amor es una cárcel, tú eres una prisión y aunque me tomó mucho tiempo tomar la decisión, quiero ser libre, libre de ti y de tus labios, libre de como yo soy cuando estoy cerca de ti y de como tú eres cuando estás cerca de mí. Thank you.
Bueno, Yariana, I got questions. Thank you so much for sharing. All right, Koylan, you up next.
Okay, I guess. Um, this poem is inspired by a photo from contemporary artist and designer Tony Peralta from the Peralta Project, and it's called Los Chamaquitos. Broken chancleta fixed with a bobby pin, a shirt from the States that reads "Vote for Clinton," the proud errand taker, lengua floja, full of palabras, hombre de la casa before reaching puberty, sibling nurturer, improviser on how to heal hurt, sugar on a wound to control blood flow, machete grip to cut the caña, to split open coconuts to defend the territory, night voyager in search of the lost self. Mira, muchacho, no falte la escuela, but teachers know nothing. Neighborhood pusher of Equimalito, y si no hay fundita, usa botella de compota. Fears no one but God, cries for no one but his mother, swallows pain full like lumps of rocks, but his insides, delicate, a garden of orchids, survivor of long spiritual droughts, blooming through all things broken. Se presigna cuando pasa una iglesia, protecting his body, his pockets, reprendiendo todo mal de ojo. Before going home, he's challenged to a game of stick and hoop. Innocence is revealed briefly, manhood hidden under candlelights. Laughter fills the night, and in the distance, his mother calls, serving un chocolate de agua con pan y mantequilla. No one eats hasta que llega el chamaquito. Thank you.
Koylan, we waiting for that book, Koylan. Cuando me apede este open mic, te voy a poner presión. Thank you so much. That was, I don't think I've ever read your stuff or heard you perform your stuff. So thank you for delighting us with that. All right. Last but not least for this round, JP, where you at?
I'm here. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? But what's up, y'all? My name is JP. Yeah, happy to be here with y'all. Dope to hear some new voices. Like I be seeing y'all on IG, but I don't know y'all like that. But hopefully we get to know each other. Shout out to I'm familiar with Lisa's work. I got to read her with her joint is dope. And of course, not of course, but I know Yaissa's work, Ritual Papaya specifically. So yo soy un lambón, so I steal from them too. I'm always reading their stuff. Yeah, Yaissa's no joke. And the joint that I'm gonna read right now is called Bachata. And it goes like this. During Mayor David Dinkins' reign, my pops brought home the bacon, out hustling NYPD and making jewelry out of melted badges he gifted my moms. Pops brought in the streets and the soul of his Timberlands. So moms mopped with Clorox, Fabuloso and Sound. She cleaned the sidewalks off our tiles with Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You. John Gotti's arrest was an omen. A drought soon followed for 40 days and 40 nights. Pops worked overtime late nights doing Christ work. But instead of turning water into wine, he turned laxative and procaine into cocaine, selling na con na to know-nothings. Giuliani became mayor, and Pops got home later and later. Mom's music changed to La India's Ese Hombre. Till one night, Pops never made it home. Mom's friend, a taxi driver, drove us to visit Pops upstate while the radio played bachata. During Pop's bid, Mom's music changed again. Alex Bueno's Busca un Confidente was on repeat. And then a billionaire was elected mayor. This was years after my Pops was released and long after my parents separated. I was visiting my mom's crib when a bachata song came on La Mega. I told her bachata reminded me of her cleaning. She said it reminded her of the taxi driver, but then cut herself off with quiet. So we listened to the lyrics instead. Thank you.
Algo tenía el tacita. Eso tacita tiene mucha labia y mucha
Esos tacitas no son fácil. Uno montado, right? And then you got money in your pocket.
Esos tacitas enamoran a todo el mundo que se sientan ahí atrás.
Josefina Baez has a good one too. So un taxita ahí.
JP, thank you. It's been a minute since we heard you perform. So it's always nice to hear you. All right, up next, vamos con Massiel. We're entering round 2, folks, okay?
Yo voy a jugar la loto hoy because I had a feeling it was gonna be me. All right, we're gonna do some new-ish today. In Spanish, my mother laughs. And in English, that is a crime. In Spanish, mommy tries to do her best impression of English and they tell her to translate it. They tell her there isn't time to understand her. They tell her to come back with a high school diploma, knowing damn well that everything mommy's hands have learned, she's mastered it with no degree. My mom says, coño. Like, como que you don't hear me? Like, if my Spanish could speak English, it would tell you, who the fuck do you think you are to tell me to repeat myself? Don't you hear my Spanish being extra loud, alto, and bullosa? My mother says, cállate tú. Because we've been silenced for too long. And now it's time for you to tomar asiento and listen to my broken Spanish, because broke is what you left us. And yes, we speak Spanish. Do you? Can you dance a merengue for 4 minutes straight? Can your guira sing a song? Does your language make poetry? Can you love in Spanish? Can you add sazón to your English when mommy says, hello, my name is, you better listen. You better listen to that song, because her Spanish has been playing that same song, the one you sing to in English. My mother's tongue says, you listen, because she's been singing in English for way too long. Thank you.
Wow, man, that was so moving. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Massiel. Diablo. Damn. All right now, Alejo, you got another one?
I knew I was next. I knew it. I knew it. I knew I was next.
Ustedes saben demasiado, todito
I
saben.
just want to say, all you guys are amazing. Like, it's very inspiring hearing y'all work. So I'm bringing another poem for my next book coming out. It's called Bad Poetry Volume 2 Rain. This is my current book that's out now, Bad Poetry Volume 1 Tumbleweed. This poem is dedicated to my mother. So today I started the poems with the two most important women in my life, my mom and my grandma. So my mom hasn't heard this poem yet, so y'all gonna preview it. Let me know if it's good or not, and then we'll see what happens. It's called I'll Rewrite This Again. I've tried this numerous times with no success, balling up countless numbers of pages, shooting to the wastebasket, yelling, Kobe, hoping to exercise the Mamba mentality, as writing about you isn't an easy feat, as perfection doesn't even seem good enough. Numerous times I've tried to make this sequence of words be considered a Van Gogh, a Picasso, Basquiat type, because anything less causes levels of stress unimaginable, limiting my ability to ever complete this letter, as I want the world to understand how amazing you are. Fears of falling short of portraying you accurately overwhelms me. How blessed am I? God sent down an angel and then made you my mother. At times I struggle with the fact I don't deserve you. I haven't done right by you because I haven't given you the world and everything in it yet. Actually, that's not even enough. The moon, planet, sun, and the entire universe too. I'll spend a lifetime thanking you, thanking God, a lifetime striving to make you proud, a lifetime trying to be just like you. The best of me is you, the greatest human being I've encountered, a mother that would give the Virgin Mary a run for her money, for the title of GMOAT, the greatest mother of all time. This letter isn't remotely good enough, but is a start. I love you more than you'll ever know.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Alejo. All right, up next, Dhayana. No me diga que tú sabías también.
Nah, I didn't know. I was hoping somebody else was going. Yo estaba tranquilita, ustedes saben. I'm going to be reading Nací de Mujeres de Cacao, which is a poem I performed during the Alegría spoken word tour in Los Angeles. So let's do it here. I come from a lineage of magnificent women, intuitive, intelligent, gentle, and brave. Driven by the desire to be more than what society says, these women stood their ground, their names engraved in your head, written in a foreign language your tongue cannot roll enough to say. Mujeres de cacao, who protect me and guide me. I am an embodiment of them, their wisdom, their love, their pain, their skin, their eyes, their nose, their accent are all mine. I come from shea butter and fertile soil, where the plátano trees grow in the evergreen del campo y el canto del gallo anuncia el empezar de un nuevo día. Soy una negra con sazón criollo. Cuando el sol besa mi piel, la miel se desliza y el viento relata la historia de una mulata mestiza. Susurros que hacen que los pétalos de las flores abran y los árboles bailen con gracia. Hija de una caribeña, cara en alto, corazón de guerrera, el baile corre por mis vellas, criollo, bachata, merengue o dembow. Mi movimiento es un lenguaje que enamora y fortalece el corazón. Benditos aquellos que en mi presencia se mueven. La negra tiene tumbao, con nariz ancestral y cabello engruñao, partiendo cuellos cada vez que mi nombre se menciona. Negra, 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 así como el cielo haciéndole el amor a la luna llena, así como lo más profundo del mar, una vibración espiritual que sana y protege. Negra, negra, negra. I carry my mother's vulnerable heart, carry my grandmother's fire and sass and great-grandma's name, Alejandrina. Please say it right. Powerful in many ways. Their legacy I'll keep alive, hold on to it like a dying breath before the sunrise, like the sky holds the moon, the sun, and galaxies gracefully throughout life. I know what their sacrifice looks like. Brown working hands embracing me like feathers, a divine motherly love, the yin and yang of life. That is what my women are like. And I come from a lineage of magnificent women, mujeres de cacao. I am one. Thank you.
Thank you, Dhayana. Thank you so much. All right, up next, Yaissa.
Gracias a todos por la poesía, siempre se agradece. Es como, es simplemente escuchar a poetas hacer sus poemas, decirlos, completa la vaina, simplemente la completa. Es como lo que yo creo que nos quitaron es lo que tenemos que devolver a la poesía, decirle a nosotros mismos. Am, Esta vez va a ser una combinación de dos pequeños poemas que van juntos y es por, yo sigo con el tema de lo que está pasando ahora mismo y para mí es muy importante dejar en claro que nuestros corazones están heridos y que lo que nos está pasando es real y es colectivo. Y dice, así como me ven, yo todos los días amanezco con el corazón roto, desplomado sobre la cama, hecho un desastre. Mi pecho abierto y sobre el colchón latiendo mi hermoso corazón cansado, muy cansado. Late en brincos por volver a mí. Yo lo tomo con las manos, lo tomo con las manos y lo baño con sal de lágrima. Escuchando sus quejas diarias, estoy totalmente de acuerdo con cada reclamo, cada angustia, cada deseo, cada desánimo, cada deseo, cada herida, cada deseo, cada decepción, cada deseo, cada deseo, cada deuda de amor que en deseo se desea saldada. Y cuánto desea ya mi corazón amanecer en el colchón desarmado, lejos de mi pecho, angustiado por un día perder su casa, perderme a mí. Y en secuencia con ese poema es, el dolor importa. Importa el coraje, la ira, la desesperación. Sí, la desesperación también importa. E importa la desazón y el vacío, importa la decepción. Por todo lo vivo, claro que la decepción importa. Como importa el olvido, la impotencia, la tristeza, el miedo, la agonía. Importa la mano temblando en la noche y la circulación acelerada a los pies del horror. La calma en vela, en la esquina de la cama, pidiendo a la condena que le permita, al menos por unos segundos, abrazar, entrar y cuidar.
Gracias, Yaissa, gracias. All right, up next, JP.
All right, Chuck. This one is called Pins or Persons in Need of Supervision. And it goes like this. We, the people, have the right to remain violent, and any truth we post will be used against us, and any Google search will outlast plastic, and our Father God will ultimately forgive us, but hold it against us, using guardian angels as parole officers, surveilling our prayers for violent ideation. We, the people, have the right to consume all the high fructose corn syrup provided by Iowa and poppy flowers provided by 9/11. 911, what is your emergency? Unanswered prayers. And who are you praying to? Our ancestors. Are there any survivors? Just us, but we don't speak their language. Justice. We, the people, prayed for justice, but instead of vengeance for Reagan's crack epidemic, we got the secular's opioid crisis. But white people don't care about white trash, so that only hurt us when it spread from Appalachian mine tunnels to the MTA subways, underground to East Harlem, running across 125th to the other side by the Apollo. Unfortunately, Zeus disowned him because he spent all that godly power on music and poetry, only for the urgency of jazz to be diluted into waiting music, for when you're on hold during an elevator, and sold to be manufactured like Nikes, and sold as if victory could be bought or worn, and from Macklemore to win over Kendrick. Also that when a future Lauryn Hill makes music out of muteness, Father God can criminalize silence. and forcing we the people to scream every single thought and prayer except the ones that echo. Fanon's claim that violence is a Palestinian woman recreating herself. Thank you.
En los slam allá en Santo Domingo dirían, ¡Va, Bárbaro! ¡Jesús! Eso sería ahora mismo.
Gracias, JP. Thank you so much. All right, Aurelia.
Y'all are so talented. My skin is literally estoy engranada. So good, very good. I'm gonna share this poem titled Mi cafecito preferido. I am in love with the sound that La Greca makes when she's ready for me. Gurgling over high heat, taste buds living in anticipation. First thing in the morning when I pack Gregorio Bustelo's grinds inside of her aluminum soul, inserted into 8 ounces of water because all the best things must be watered to grow and fill cups. Housing an elixir so robust, so dark, a hot and soothing kick that awakens this spirit. The same way that it did for Papa, my grandfather. We've crossed paths a few times, none that I can remember, just too young. Still, he calls me to the altar a few times a week, where I pour him the dark roast cradled in a demi-tasse made by Armenian hands, imported. Yeah, I know, so typical. A brown-skinned Latina dressed in dripping wet curls steps foot on white marble tiles at the rise of the sun, an entire origami of a day yet to be unfolded. Just to cut open a yellow-foiled vacuum-sealed brick, slowly inhaling the pungence of ground Cuban-style beans that mi gente have grown to love. Established in 1928, Harlem, New York. The vintage woman on the package sips out of her tiny espresso cup without judgment, ready to get a fix so rich. Flavors, a mix of sharp dark chocolates, rich earthiness, hints of toasted nuts. Okay, so maybe she's judging you just a little bit, questioning your choice to purchase those capitalistic beans with a mermaid and a green circle and those 2 tails. Café sin sabor. Coffee with no flavor. Running on Dunkin' has never inspired me to jog anywhere. What about that bulky red and plastic tub? Apparently, Americans think the best part of waking up is having watered down diner coffee in your cup. And yeah, I mean, you can't just cop a cup of Bustelo from a popular fast-ass franchise. That's also the point. There is an air of particularity in this pack. For our Latinx community, this is regarded as a snack. Alongside warm toasted Portuguese rolls or Goya's premium soda crackers, both slathered in butter. Bustelo, you aren't the only one or even the absolute best. However, you are my preferred method of waking up. My ancestors' dearest liquid form of veneration, you are not for the weak. Mi cafecito preferido. Thank you.
Thank you, Aurelia. Thank you. Up next, Lisa.
I'm gonna jump on the mother poems bandwagon. And Mother's Day is coming, and I do have mothers that I am holding dear in my heart. So this is for them. To birth is to bury, for the mothers grieving or otherwise. Science confirms that the pain of guiding offspring earthside is tantamount to the pain of fractured bones or kidney stones. By the grace of our Most High, I've never experienced a fracture, nor keeled over lodged pebbles in my organs, but I did nearly yank handrails off maternity beds while screaming into oblivion amidst the transition from expectant to mother. Discomfort intensifying minute after minute, hour after hour, and daily thereafter. The ultimate test of emotional pain and physical strain only just begins when a negative turns into a positive pea-stained stick. And as far as nature goes, the body knows the flow of how this unpredictable process unfolds. Debilitating pain and persistent contractions make way for the arrival of a fertilized egg, disrupting a system from the inside out as early as day one. Conceiving that from now on, mother must bear down and push through, encountering strength she didn't know she had, begging for miracles that would accelerate the one already in process, and even then, the pain of birthing a child could not equate to the pain of burying said child. As the daughter of a mother who once buried a son, I've witnessed how mother is not the same. After suicide, after genocide, after any permanent goodbyes, she changed the first, last time she held that baby in her arms, enduring the agony of never calling out to him by his birth name. Mother grieves with a gaping hole in her heart as the sister of the one she lost and mother of two sons. The dread is palpable, pleading I never have to suffer like that. To birth is to bury versions of ourselves we once knew, to rise renewed like a phoenix. To birth is to bury the notion mother will ever be the same after birthing, after burying a child. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you so much. All right, last but not least for this round is Koylan.
I'm going to read a poem called In the Time of My Grandmother When She Still Remembered Who I Was. She recited poems of secret night voyages, overfilled yolas, wittingly designed for smuggling dreams, yolas overflowing with families, sacrificing their soil for American concrete, a dream deferred. Perhaps the waves played a role. Perhaps they were the bravest men and women who yearned for fuller stomachs and thicker wallets. Perhaps television, with its plastered mural-like screen, taught them that their real life was a better version of themselves through infinite frozen smiles, recorded laughter, and on-cue fears. My grandmother spoke of the nameless, lost in voyage, whose bodies were dismembered by the tiburones, men that suckled onto the women for their breast milk, bodies that were thrown overboard as sacrificial lambs, prayers that hung over the yola like weeping trees. She told me of the men who made it through to the other side, never to be the same, forever afraid of open water, of how they shuffled around like resurrected bodies in a somber state, victims of yola shock syndrome. She told me of the women waiting on their husband's return, some promising, some filled hearts with words as shimmering as rays and as plump as guanabanas, and yet waiting through countless moons and canciones de bachatas with hopes that their men would not subdue to the lure of an American woman whose flesh has never witnessed scars of mosquito attacks, whose hair has never been burnt at the edges from a tia's perm, whose hands have never been submerged into flour for yaniqueque breakfast or dirt for dinner scavenges. They waited until the night came, until the dark skies unfolded, until their bodies could take no more wanting. My grandmother told me these stories in hopes that she could resurrect each body thrown overboard and mend the heart still waiting on the other side. Thank you.
Thank you, Koylan. All right, folks, we are entering into round 3. All right, vamos a empezar con JP.
All right, y'all. Yeah, so real quick, I just want to like to just shout out Angie, que Angie Boche Abreu. Yeah, that's su boche par de veces, but it's necessary. We need that grounding sometimes. But no, but just shout out to Angie because I'll be in other spaces, like literary writing, art spaces, whatever you want to call it. And there's a lot of people in these spaces, and they fill up spaces with people, but there's a lot of lonely motherfuckers there, bro. Everybody talks about community, 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 yo, but don't buy it, bro. There's like, and of course, our community, the little art scene we got going on, it has its issues, has its problems. We know that. But yo, there's other places where it's lonely out there. Motherfuckers be up and down together, and they don't know each other. And at least what we have is something that's there's rooms of growth, of course, but we're doing a good job, and I think Angie's very much responsible for that, right? From way back. So shout out to you, Angie. So if you got some grant money, send it this way. No, let me stop. My next poem is
send it this way if you got grant money. I agree with you. Gracias.
this one's called Yaissa Puerto Plata. When I lived in the mountains, I thought the same color meant the same taste. Tangerines, oranges, and the sun, citrus. When I saw my great grandmother peel a tangerine with her bare hands, while men used knives for oranges, she became God. I imagined what she could do with the sun. When I returned to the mountains, I was a man with disposable income and the exchange rate in my favor, native tourist. My primos became my piolos, offering me primas. They offered to fix and repaint the house my great-grandmother built with the cinder blocks she flung from New York. My great-grandmother's health brought our family back to the mountains. On her last night, I was in a bar, still high from the jaraca scored in Cabarete. My fat cousin, doubling as chauffeur and bodyguard, picked me up on his black motoconcho with rum on his breath. I held on behind him on the motorbike, careful not to touch the 9mm on his hip. Presidente splashed inside me with every curve. A flickering headlight showed a winding dirt road up ahead. Up above, a million tiny suns lit the night sky, waiting to be peeled. Thank you.
Thank you, JP. Thank you so much. All right. So we have one more participant that just joined us here, and that's Keiry. Keiry, are you ready to perform?
Hello, yes, I am ready. So my point is gonna be in Spanish. Can you hear me, everyone?
Sí, pero la cámara se está cortando.
Ah, okay, sorry. ¿Me pueden ver ahora? Ok, perfecto. So mi poema se llama ¿De qué me sirve? Déjame. ¿De qué me sirve que me digas te quiero cuando tus acciones dicen lo contrario? ¿De qué me sirve un te extraño cuando nunca estás presente? ¿De qué me sirve un quiero verte cuando nunca puedes? ¿De qué me sirve un qué haces si es para dejarme en visto? ¿De qué me sirve un feliz San Valentín a las 2 de la tarde si es para pasarla trabajando? ¿De qué me sirven las palabras bonitas si es para mantenerme en suspenso? Entonces, ¿de qué me sirve? Déjame, porque de nada me sirve que me mantengas en un naufragio sin refugio. Quiero que me dejes, déjame ser libre. ¿Libre de qué? Te puedes preguntar. Libre de la carga de cuando dice te extraño para no hablar más. Libre de las palabras sin significado para dejarme en el vacío de mis pensamientos. Déjame tan libre como la paloma y el aire. Déjame volar a otro terreno sin título, pero con valor. Déjame ser. Déjame la libertad que tiene la naturaleza. no me corte las alas para luego dejarme abandonada. Déjame ser yo y seguir siendo tú, porque yo soy un alma libre, no un alma en pena. Ya.
Gracias, Keiry, muchas gracias. Ok. Alejo, you hear me? You up next. You're muted.
I hear you now. I didn't hear you before. All right. I'm up next. Okay. This one's called I Can't Be. I can't be everything you want me to be. Sorry, start again. It's called I Can't Be. I can't be everything you want me to be anymore. The burden's too heavy for me to carry. Your happiness can't depend on me because I will never really be enough. Even though you think I will, it has to be your own, not owned by me, because I'll take care of it at first. But the longer it's in my control, the more likely I am to abuse it. Not because I want to, but my happiness will take priority at some point. I could marry you and make your dreams come true, but I don't feel the same way you do. The sun rises and falls with me according to you. In my eyes, the sun rises and falls with or without me. I want to compliment someone, be an added benefit, not be your only one. No, this isn't me saying I'm gone. It's me saying I'm done. I can't be what you want me to be. I hope you understand. This isn't me removing you from my life, but this is me giving you your life back.
All right. Okay, Alejo. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. All right. Up next, Dhayana.
Alejo said, all right, let me give you a taste of something different. Fuck with it. I like it. This is a new poem, and it's sort of a rough draft, but poetry is never perfect, so here we go. What if? What if you woke up one day and it was the end? Is there anything you're afraid of leaving? Secrets you want to escape from? Love you want to feel for the last time? Confessions knocking at your door? Because once everything is gone, there will be nothing of you, nothing of me, nothing of us, nothing of them. What if, for 1 second, we stepped away from the spotlight and decided to see the world as one, felt brave enough to protect the vulnerable, the sick, the broken, the displaced, as if they were one with us and us one with them? What if it wasn't all about the material, the power, the luxury, the money, the likes, the follows, but more about the community, the love, the healing, the peace, the unity? What if the greed of this world was gone? Will we come together as humans, one heart, one brain, one nose, one mouth, 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 ears, 2 legs, one soul? Would you see your humanity in the eyes of somebody else? Forgive without doubt, love without limitation, help without justification? Would you be a good human being? What if love was the universal language? No hate, no jealousy, no isms. What if the children far away had another day to live, another day to smile, another day to play? But some of them may never know how to speak, how to write, how to walk, how to run, how to feel, how to love, how to breathe. Is this the world that we live in? What if you stood on your word and became the change you wish to see, taking on the responsibility to plant roots for the younger generation to see how shit is done when you lead with your heart and trust that God has a plan? What if? What if? What if? Thank you.
Thank you, Dhayana. All right, up next, Aurelia.
Hi. So I just received this wonderful magazine in the mail. It's Spoken Black Girl magazine, and this month's issue is motherhood, just in time for Mother's Day. And I submitted this poem about my mom to keep the mom theme going. This is titled Mommy. Mommy stands at the corner of West 32nd with me, awaiting the New Jersey Transit chariot to take us away. The end of July air is thick. Venusian cotton candy spun and stretched between the copper coins withheld in arthritis-ridden hands. A green mint that appears. I haven't seen one since I was 16. A lime wedge-shaped hard candy that tastes like toothpaste. Like her, born from the Dominican Republic. Nostalgia visits me. 17 and pregnant, surviving my all-day, everyday sickness with lifesavers. Minty full circles that kept me afloat, preparing for the Piscean life to come. Mommy works hard over the ceramic white sink and electrical stove in my apartment. Her precious, famous potato salad, starch boils and spills over. We're taking an hour drive in the morning to reunite with our loved ones, so she carefully dices the carrots. Swift knife movements, shocking the eggs in an ice bath. She cleans as she goes. I glance over my shoulder, watch her as I begin to sweep the hardwood floors encrusted in sand from last week's beach trip. Back and forth motions until the tornado of dust, Lucas's hair, and sand pile up. Realizing that this is the way Mommy taught me to clean. This is how we keep our relationship alive. We brush the good, the bad, and the ugly underneath. Despite cleaning being similar to pulling teeth, I am of her and she lies within me. Careful to never sweep my own bare feet, I think I want to be married someday. Mommy unravels herself, a roll of gauze. She is 1950s modest, peeling each layer of clothing away from her body, careful to never reveal too much, nothing above the knee. No matter who is in the room, in places I never even think twice about what part of my body I show. Walking through my apartment with the blinds pulled up over my head and the windows wide open, bare, vulnerable, and unlocked, on no occasion fearing who sees. As Mommy gets older, she becomes feeble. We can't walk long distances anymore. Her breath escaping her more often than not, and my inner child finds this to be so wrong. How can the strongest woman I know switch up on me? Teaches me to slow down, be vigilant, stand firmly nearby just in case vertigo decides to take her dancing. Mommy lets me walk her down to the bay, urging the gentle waves to sweep her away. Pebbles and stones at the edge just make this difficult, painful. We take our sweet time, holding hands with the generations of past and the future between our palms, careful not to slip. I left my bathing suit on land. I tighten my grip. Soon enough, the water folds up my shorts. The bumpiness lessens into soft pockets of underwater sand, and I let her go. In this moment, she is not flawed. She is not aging. She isn't angry or paranoid. She's just my daughter's grandma, filling her hands with pools to wash away the stories behind the grays upon her head. She's just Moana's grandma, floating above water, calling in all the stingrays with her wisdom. She's just Mommy, before she became my mommy, before she stepped foot in this country. Her name is Arelis. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for that, Aurelia. All right, up next, Yaissa.
Hello. Yo estoy leyendo cosas que apenas he publicado o tocado, o si ven algún error o algo, es parte del asunto. Yo esta es la primera temporada de mi vida que tengo 2 años sin ir a República Dominicana. Yo viví toda mi vida allá y salí del país por primera vez después de los 30 años y tengo 37. Am, y yo extraño de una forma muy corporal República Dominicana. Es algo muy del cuerpo. Y esto es un mix de dos poemas que fue uno detrás del otro, uno para abajo y otro subiéndome, como la poesía haciendo lo suyo, bajándote, pero también te puede elevar. Mami, te extraño. Tierra madre, te extraño. País, no te extraño. Nación, nunca voy a extrañarte. Tierra negra, lombriz roja, alacrán oráculo, te extraño. Río, poza, agua sin avisar, te extraño. Ruido entre las 10 y las 4, silencio a las 4, mi cuerpo a las 4, en tu humedad, hamaca, te extraño. Hormiga roja, mosquito, mime, hedor, bailen de nuevo entre mis piernas, amenacen a mi nariz. Peleemos de nuevo a ver quién acaba muerta primero, te extraño. Mala sangre caribe, te extraño mucho. Me echo de menos en mi vieja almohada. Y la segunda parte es sobre estar aquí y estar enferma en este país. Que siga la sangre corriendo de abajo para arriba, que siga el olor a azufre y fango, a hierro, tierra, hedor, dolor y respiro. Que continúen, que sigan los días minerales, que yo los atrapo entre mis muslos, que hay piedras que quiero completar, fortuna que estoy dispuesta a crear, apostando a mis días y a mi piel. Que no pare hasta que toque, que mis venas raíces se saben el camino al agua, yo me sé el camino al agua, me lo sé en lo curito, marcado en mi ADN está el mapa, sembrado en mi ombligo está el terreno, miren mi lengua verde, mi huella musgo, mi otro pie, el que pisa soltando esmeraldas en etapa inicial, húmeda como la tierra que me crió. Y que siga la sangre demostrando su poder por sobre el mío. Y que de este abrazo salga una nueva criatura que estoy a punto de ser. Enraizarse es un acto difícil. Esta ciudad despertó mi hambre, pero el Caribe me enseñó dónde colocar el apetito.
That last line. Thank you, Yaissa. All right, folks. Up next, Koylan.
Okay. This is a short poem. It's called Abracadabra. I am trying to be an escape artist, but you are sitting in the audience at a perfect angle where you can see the truth behind each trick. The handkerchief of my feelings peeking from my wrists, one perfectly knotted emotion after another. You, an escape artist yourself, can, from your very seat, and without even trying, so cleverly and consistently undo each one of my knots. Perhaps the trick is to tuck them secretly in the back of your throat, so that every time you speak, from out of your mouth emerges the most perfect and delicate flowers. Thank you.
Thank you, Koylan. Thank you so
You muted yourself again, Angie.
Oh, sorry. Up next, Massiel.
Is this the last round, Angie, or we got one more? Wait, you're on mute.
One more after this, Ija.
Okay. All right, I'll save my Dominican ass poem. All right, so this poem is dedicated to, shout out to my salon lady who I haven't seen in like 7 years. But the last time I saw her, she was making just these facial expressions that I'm like, yo, just say what you gotta say. You know, like when people, they just talk with their face, like she was like cussing me out, right? And out of her facial expression was birthed this poem. The lady at the salon says my pelo is malo, that my curls are a sin, that this hair is too free, that I should try taming it at least 3 times a week, that my greñas are too rough and no one's willing to float their yola into. But this rubia pelo malo knows the value of a pajonazo. My salon lady says that surprisingly, for someone who doesn't burn the culture right out of me, that my hair is actually not that bad. She says my rizos look good on me, says my Blackness looks good on me, says my culture looks good on me, says my greñas look good on me, like if we need some validation. Like if she needs some validation, like if all this hair was a sin. Like if all this hair was a sin, like if we need permission to let all this hair be a sin. Like we don't know hair and sin. Like if my hair can be sin and swim and say, look, I made it. I survived. Can I be American now? Can I be unheard now? Can my hair sin here and be loud? Thank you.
I think many of us have gone through that type of relationship with our stylist. A mí me miran como una loca if I walk out. I'm like, I just want you to cut it. No te vas a hacer lo que esto. No, I'm coming out with my curls. It's always
I really love it because that's one of the many compliments that we as a Dominican we mostly have when we live on the country.
What compliments? ¿Cómo así, Keiry?
Como los complejos de que las personas no. Hay unos cuando venimos al país, obviamente nos gusta, pero hay otros que, por ejemplo, nos suelen llamar pelo malo, que estamos sin peinar, y tenemos que vivir con esas batallas, esos challenges.
Cierto, muy cierto. All right, everyone. Lisa.
I'm gonna go with another one of my favorite ones, I believe, from my book, titulado Corazón Desnudo. I don't mind Hershey in the back. He held it on for too long.
He wants to join the open mic.
All right. Camina nervioso, el del curioso, intrigado por lo misterioso. Inseguridad nace, crece, vuelve, renace y por mi cuerpo va viajando hasta apoderarse. Sentimientos y pensamientos que el corazón da de balde. La base para que todo avance es rendirse y desdoblarse. ¿Estaré lista? ¿Quién sabe? Dicen que es preferible no obsesionarse. Dicen que cuando te das por completo, el corazón no entiende y malas jugadas te hace. Dicen que es más fácil negarse y no enamorarse. Preguntas al Señor, en esta situación, ¿qué se hace? Es difícil relajarse y todo a Dios dejarle. Se pierde el control, se pierde el balance en búsqueda de un romance. Aquí nadie sabe cuál será el desenlace. Desnudarse también es doblegarse. Interesantes los amantes que al amanecer permiten que la química que se despertó en ellos los abrace. hasta cometer el delito de fusionarse. ¿Qué será más fácil, el componerse después de ser vulnerable o vivir con la duda de que ese amor nunca se le dio un chance? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Keiry, ¿estás lista para compartir otro poema?
Sí, estaba mirando porque veo que sus poemas son, para ser la verdad, esta es la primera vez que leo un poema, so, no estaba segura si lo hacía bien. Ah, pero leer sus poemas me inspira más a escribir otro, pero a la vez siento que el próximo que tenía es un poquito fuerte.
Dale, no importa. Aquí nadie, aquí te apoyamos.
Ok, deja buscarlo acá. El segundo poema se llama Escorpio. De vez en vez me despierto mirando mi teléfono, extrañando ver un mensaje tuyo, pero recuerdo que no estás y que no llegará ni siquiera con alcohol. Hace mucho no me sentía deseada por nadie, y mucho menos confundida entre el deseo y el placer, entre de lo que quería como de lo que no debía. Pero aquella noche, aquella sola noche, bastó para clarificar lo que tanto mi cuerpo le pedía a gritos volver a sentir. Fueron tan solo menos de 5 minutos de gloria, de fuego, de energía, compatibilidad, deseos, conexión, vida, alegría, y hasta si seguía quizás de orgasmo. Aunque su cuerpo en físico decidió parar, a veces se pregunta, ¿qué hubiese sido de aquella noche si no hubiese parado? Donde en cada sexo que tenía en silencio su cuerpo le gritaba y nadie comprendía. Cada noche se desvelaba recordando esas caricias plamadas en la curva de sus siluetas, con conexión a sus caderas y glúteos, esa suavidad que el fuego de sus manos le transmitía, haciendo de cada noche un deseo carnal en pausa. ¿A dónde hubiésemos llegado si con solo usar sus manos logró telepáticamente transportarme a otro nivel? ¿Qué hubiese pasado si hubieras llegado al éxtasis de mis aguas mágicas que sus manos lograron provocar? Ella aún tiene miedo de mostrar lo que le provocas, pero aún más el de sentir sus manos plamadas nuevamente en su cintura. Cada mañana me despertaba deseando sentir tu sutil caricia, y tú lo sabes también, que aunque ella te cambie de tema, ambos lo sienten y buscan lo mismo. Aunque ambos no despiertan sintiendo caricias, ambos reciben mensajes de unas de las dos partes, porque ambos buscan complementar lo que dejaron a medio incendio, para que decirse mentiras. Quizás ella lo siente más porque de cierta manera es prohibida, pero él no. Él es todo un escorpión de las aventuras que le traes el día a día.
¡Uepa! Keiry, aquí estamos acostumbrados con todo y de todo, ¿ok? Que
Gracias.
no tengas pena con compartir lo que lo que escribes. Creo que tú y Lisa se pueden juntar y escribir una cuanta cosita porque algunos poemas de Lisa son no tan fuertes como el tuyo, pero van por esa línea fácil.
Van para ahí.
Gracias por compartir. All right, folks, we're entering the last round, round 4, and we are going to start with Koylan.
Damn, Andy. Just me, huh? Nice. Wow, hold on. Let me take a sip. This is water. Okay. This poem is called Motorcycle Dreams. A motoconcho straight from the slums, who knew his way around San Pedro and back, shortcuts and long cuts just to make an extra peso. You perform heart surgery, The motor in your hands baptized in grease, negro encima de negro. There were nights you were ashamed of how you were taught to crop, but mastered chain snatching, that glistening gold, the wrist a quick flick, your conscience heavy. Still, your eyes hid behind shades in fear the victims will see through you. Your motor still running in fear they could hear your childhood screaming. The nights you chased sunsets, wishing the rays could help shed a layer of skin, a layer of you, always speeding past just to feel ahead, as if for once your life was on fast forward, as if there was a purpose, a life-changing destination. The wind whipped through every strand of your Taino hair, the way your mother's fingers combed through your knotted thoughts, and how you wished to cup her warm hands, to hold that feeling in a jar, to forever hold that wind by your bedside, to hear it whirling and chanting again and again. Thank you.
Loving it. Estoy esperando ese libro, te estoy diciendo. Estoy esperando. Dhayana.
Hey, here I come. So this is going to be a prose poem from my second book, which has been done since late last year, but I'm enjoying keeping private, just taking my time with it. So this is titled Aging with Wisdom. I refuse to be like anyone else, to fit into a box of expectations and limitations. I want to fill my lungs with the compassion and gentleness I give. I am a wild heart that easily loves, cares, listens, and cries. A foreign name many have difficulty with. My features represent the history of my ancestors. My blood dances to the melody of my culture, and the companionship of nature satisfies my soul. I am a solar system waiting to be explored, to gravitate toward the places that feel like home, to plant roots deeper than the infinity of a black hole. I don't want to be like anyone else. I am a rare flower blooming in unknown grounds. I am the answered prayers, the love, and the pain carried by my mother's vessel. I am the poems written by my father's hands, his vulnerability genuine and free of shame. I am a story waiting to be written, shared, and felt. I am the beginning and the end, one with a high source and image of its endless love. I am the dreams of the women who came before me, who paved the way, held my hand, protected, guided, and loved me beyond the existence of this earth. I am the words screaming to be born, a legacy to be known, and voices from the past reclaiming their places in this world. I refuse to be like anyone else. I want to be me, to listen to the birds sing like their songs are dedicated only to me. I am the ocean breeze, a lunar eclipse, the ritual to calm the chaos. I am melanin, the ancestral medicine spilling from my lips, blood flowing through my fingertips, story painted with imagery. I am infinity, forever living in pages that will age and discolor like leaves. Words that will hold the wisdom of my human journey, bravery, vulnerability, heart open like it has never known hostility. That is who I choose to be. A wondrous spirit. See right through me, I am not afraid of feeling. Sink into me like the home you always need. Hold on to me like the earth holds all the living. Thank you.
Thank you, Dhayana. Up next, Lisa.
Bueno, ya vamos a cerrar tranquilamente. The title of this poem is Bountiful. Shouts of praise for the auburn hues that dress pavements at daylight. May the ceaseless hope and faith of farmers rain upon me as I humble myself for the harvest. For I am the crop that has ripened to maturity and is ready to be picked. I have died to the old and been birthed anew. Buried crops develop into miraculous beings that feed and nourish, for you are what you eat. The sun as my witness, this particular season was made for shedding skins and dismantling ancient beliefs. How challenging, how humbling this entire process is. In solitude and silence, I have been lulled to sleep and nurtured by soil, nature's clock ringing. So I must wake from hibernation and preparation to move mountains. Perhaps, just perhaps, I am the mustard seed I have been waiting for. Thank you.
Wepa, thank you, Lisa. All right, up next, Aurelia.
Hello. So I'll be reading this poem titled Bruja Turns Christian. I've been told many times by the people that I love, by society's coven, that I cannot love, be of God, while embracing being a bruja. Herbs and crystals intertwined in the words of the rose and the margins of the Bible make love to healing in our barrios with curanderas and brujos that wear crystals and beads as odes to their bodies and say the same prayers as me. 3 kings carry gifts on the day of both Mary and Jesus's birth. Gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. A feeling that mirrors walking out of Rain and River Apothecary, feeling like I found the love of God inside white paper bags imprinted with gold-filled letters. Honored by carrying the weight of incense, cramp bark, and chase tree berries, agua de Florida, and a small Ziploc filled with frankincense and myrrh to invite blessings and protection into our home. Revelations of angels sitting on thrones, shining in the sky like jasper and carnelian, draping Gentile priests in ephods covered in engraved black onyx stones mounted in gold. A reminder of what it means to be the true people of Israel, and somehow having Caribbean and African traditions chanting and beating drums in your blood don't match. Tales of giving thanks to spirit, but it never being acceptable that you could talk to multiple spirits or the dead, even knowing that Jesus has a multitude of words taken down from a cross. Tell them that he is risen. And the Italian man sitting in a pew speaks in tongues, languages unheard of. So when my sisters beat their drums across lands near and far, gyrating the curves on their bodies, chasing to be filled in overflow of the Espiritu, crying out in unison their worships at the sky, because isn't that where God resides? Isn't that what his people come to seek? To be whole, if just for a moment, every Sunday, sitting next to your neighbor while lifting your hands to the Most High, moving your body to a rhythm only instruments can play, with the expectation of being filled with the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Running back to my childhood, nights when mommy used to put me on the subway, gallivanting all the way to Queens to honor queens with offerings, pouring life's fears and blocks into a room where God would be joining us, not a moment too soon, before she lets her soul float away. An empty vessel to invite in patron Saint Yaissa, declaring how intellectual you'll be in the future, how protected you are by the Lord above, with generations of cackles born from the bellies of the ancestors before us. I've been told many times by the people that I love, by society's coven, that I cannot love, be of God, while embracing being a bruja. Except that God shines a light through me, covers me, and still loves me no matter how much I smudge, no matter where I go with crystals in tow. You'd label me a new age witch, but God sent me a butterfly today. Because this morning I took an extra dose of doubt. Have this. Let me show you I love you. Just sit. Open your eyes. You are my child. I see purity within you regardless of what you could or could not do. I've never experienced a love like this, have you? Its yellow wings and black edges spread so wide, fluttering from time to time, causing you to glide so effortlessly, covering you in awe the entire time. A love so perfect, tinted windows for a peek into the soul. The ants crawl on me like an aged stump the father has risen from the ground. Ancient roots grasp the earth, soil crumbling through its knuckles long before I decided to lay here on my bumblebee patterned blanket. All the answers whispered in between the branches filled with dainty leaves. I am okay with sitting in warm winds today, for they mean I am alive, embracing every part of me because he made me perfect in his image. And because I choose to sit in his silence, I can hear his gifts, the silencing of which should no longer sit in my heart. Thank you. Ooh, Angie, you're muted. We can't hear you.
Y sigo. Thank you, Aurelia. Up next is JP.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? This next one is called Yes You Are. The right now I'm with some teenagers, Black and Latinx kids from New York City. We're in Pennsylvania. We're taking them to different colleges and all that. So my job, my 9 to 5 is just working with young people, right? Which is dope, super fulfilling. And I'm constantly reminded of all the shit I'm unhealed, the shit that I haven't worked through. They resurface all that shit. So and this poem is me trying to like navigate that, because you think you're working with a young person and investing in them, and you think, oh, I'm working with this fulanito, right? But in reality, you're working with your stepfather, or you're working with a sibling, or you're working with your mother. And it's just weird that if you're not careful, you end up projecting and all that. And this is me trying to navigate that. And it's still an early draft, but hopefully, yeah, fuck with it. And it's called Yes You Are. Whenever I want to father a woman I love, I remember I failed at fathering my mother. When I taught the kids of rich white liberals, I only felt safe when I flirted with their mothers. I once confused the erratic as erotic and ran after women who ran with wolves, convinced I wasn't a wolf, all while warning daughters about wolves. I asked daughters, where are you going? Where have you been? And I know most men are not Arnold's friend, but the only friends I fear are men. I failed to kill the men who killed my mother, even the one who killed her when she was a girl. I was too young to kill the men who killed my grandmother and her mother. I was too young to tell my grandmother she's not a clairvoyant, but a witch, the overbearing mother, a traumatized woman, a 7-year-old girl. I was too young to teach my great-grandmother how to read. And I share this with you because I don't know. But I swear on my mother, I used to. I smoked a joint before going to the rage room, and it felt just like when I want to cry but can't, or think of hugging a woman but don't, because I know what I am. And I want to tell you, not all men abandon daughters, because some men abandon sons. And sometimes it's the woman who abandons. Sometimes the mother runs away with wolves. I want you to run with wolves and want to protect you from them. How I failed to protect so many women. Thinking safety for daughters means to hoard Audre Lorde's The Erotic as power. Fearing that apple might lead them to men. You're not Moana. I'm not Maui. And I don't know the depth for the Pacific or the depth for the Atlantic. But no, it's deep even for a Pisces like you or my great-grandmother. And I don't know how to swim. So my daughter's in swimming class on Sundays. And when I see her jump out the water, fearless, I see it's you speaking the truth for air. And I swear on my daughter, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Thank you.
And you said that piece is not done? So work in progress?
I gotta work with it. I gotta work with it.
How many of you think he needs to still work on it?
Drop that right now. Drop that right now.
Yeah, I think that piece is wow. Thank you, JP.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, up next, Alejo.
I just want to say that you guys are all amazing. You guys are very inspiring. Angie, thank you for pushing me in our conversations and kind of getting me to do this because I wasn't gonna do it. I was thinking about how to not do it today. Like, how can I tell her and she won't get mad at me? So
No way.
It wasn't until I posted it that I'm like, all right, I got to do it now. But I was thinking about how to get out of it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
But I'm glad I did
te
it.
iba a dar tu boche on
But all you guys are amazing, and everybody watching, make sure you support all the artists here and buy their books and stuff and follow their progress. But thank you, Angie, and everybody for what you guys are doing. My last poem is called Emotional Intelligence. As a boy, you're told men don't cry, so you learn to cry inside, programmed to suffer internally, raised to suppress emotions, now being told you need to express yourself. Women ask, where's your emotional intelligence? Never taught or explained. Therapy and self-discovery journey is done to obtain a semblance of it. So now you can explain how you feel, what upsets you, what you need to be happy in ways you couldn't. Happier life is being lived. Emotions are regulated. In control, you stay of it all. But now, sensitive and needy are the adjectives used to describe you by multiple women. That's when you understand the emotional intelligence required only means you understand their emotions, concerns, wants, needs, and trauma, not them understanding any of yours.
Thank you so much. Alejo, are you in Jersey too?
Nah, I'm in the Heights. I'm in Dykeman.
Oh, bueno. Ahí te
Alejo,
agarro más fácil.
Alejo, tu poema me cayó como anillo al dedo.
Ahí estamos casi around the corner, Alejo. Está bien. Está bien. I see you. All right. Thank you so much for sharing that. Up next, Keiry.
Me. Sin memoria viajo las calles de la ciudad, bajo un día intenso de lluvias, las cuales son de esas que no te hacen brillar, pero que son de las que te mojan hasta el último recuerdo de cuando fue nuestro primer y último beso. Tengo otro, pero está incompleto, no sé si leerlo.
Bueno, ya estamos terminando. Vamos a completar la noche, que ya tenemos 4 rounds. All right. So, thank you, Keiry, por compartir ese, aunque sea así de corto. Up next, Yaissa.
Ok, yo me estaba debatiendo, pero voy a hacer este pequeño, no sé, me llama mucho el leer esta piecita, que es un fragmento que yo no veo como separación entre la ficción y la poesía en lo que escribo, porque no puedo separarlo no puedo, por más que me insistan, no puedo. Y esto se trata del anís de estrella. Cuando yo estaba pequeña, mami solía darnos té de anís algunos días y nosotros no entendíamos para qué era, pero mi mamá nunca nos dejó enterarnos de que éramos pobres, porque todo era como una dinámica normal. Entonces el té de anís hace que se te quite el hambre. Y nos daba a cierta hora, nos daba un poquito de té de anís o agua de azúcar, esa se la sabe todo el mundo, pero me daba eso. Y me acuerdo que por una foto que me tiré con unas amigas, comienzo con, en medio de la greca rota que tanto café ha colado, no, que tanto amor ha colado, colocamos una estrella de anís, una pieza de constelación ocre para guiar la vida de quien empieza el día con el estómago en espera. Las horas siguientes son para caminar. La estrella guía el corazón desde las vísceras, flota en el aliento mientras mutua y sinceramente nos damos los buenos días. Y palabra por palabra, comunicamos la fe de quienes quieren llegar al mediodía con un plato colorido, perplejo de tanto sabor. Y se empieza, como sea, se empieza. La estrella calma los ácidos que rugen cuando el sol sabe que no son horas de andar con hambre y revela el principio básico de mejor escoger comer sentada, tranquila y bien, a desesperada y agrietada por la ira. Duras son todas las elecciones que se hacen desde el no poder, el no tener, pero la estrella sigue viva, sigue siempre aliada.
Wepa, thank you, Yaissa. Thank you so much. All right. Para cerrar, last but not least, Massiel. Ciérralo, Massiel.
Bueno, well, you know, I'm going to give my little love speech to you. I want to thank you again, como dice todo el mundo, for bringing us together, for creating space, for highlighting our stories, and just like creating this amazing community that I cannot live without. Like, I flourish in so many ways, but it's also because of the people that I'm surrounded with. So thank you so much. And this poem that I'm going to read was actually inspired by one of the prompts in my writing workshop with you happening this Sunday called Un Sancocho de Poesía. And this piece is actually like a call and response, but you know, we via Zoom, so we're going to make it work. But this poem is called I'm So Damn Dominican. And if we were doing this out loud, the crowd would be saying so Dominican, but we're going to do this a little remix style. All right. I'm so Dominican. My maletas wear a cinta like decorated presents. It's a gift to be where we are from. I'm so Dominican que me presino cuando salgo de mi casa, so that God could watch my back, but never give my back to God. I'm so Dominican that my birth certificate finds a home under a queen-size mattress. My vacation and punishment were both the threat to be sent back to the motherland. So Dominican. My Spanish chooses which words to emphasize and which ones to drop. I'm so Dominican. Habichuelas aren't just for dulces. They take up space in a game of bingo que si digo dame un chililing. Tú me entiendes. So Dominican that showers in the backyard became a ritual, that the sun already knows to besar la mano. I'm so Dominican that coffee makes love to a greca, and then to a taza, and then to my taste buds. I'm so Dominican. Our foods are named tres golpes, so you know not to mess with us. So Dominican that chancletazos still sting when you say it. So Dominican, I get called pelo malo, rubia, and greñua. So Dominican that losing power means the neighborhood reunites for some chisme. So Dominican that wanting to know people's stories gets you the name chismosa. I'm so Dominican. My first steps were to a Corta Vena Anthony Santos song. I learned the lyrics to a sad song, and the smell of Brugal Añejo follows you into a room, caresses your sadness, tells you your struggles aren't struggles if you drink the whole bottle. I'm so Dominican, I can finish an entire bottle without making a face. So Dominican that girls like me aren't treated Dominican. In their eyes, I am privileged, a privileged gringa. And sometimes I am privileged, but I ain't no damn gringa. I am privileged not to work hard labor, but I've birthed some poems. So sometimes I do think I know labor. I'm so Dominican that my tubis speak 3 languages. 1, I just left the salon. 2, I'm getting ready. Or 3, going to the salon to get this pelo malo ready again. I mean, straightened again. I mean, whitened again. I mean, burned again, stripped from his earth again. I'm so Dominican que si te pone a joder, te damos un cocotazo. O te callan con un coño. So Dominican, mommy disses herself to insult you. Mira, muchacha de la seed. Like we already knew we were flowers waiting to be watered and kissed by un solazo. I'm so Dominican, I sometimes wish I wasn't, so that I could just be. So Dominican that brujería can exist, but not racism, que prieto se disfraza con, pero es de cariño, y no un insulto, that our words cut deeper than machetes, that we are all machetes, that our hands meet labor before it meets richness, that our cafes and roosters are the only thing keeping us up, that we are Dominican, and no one can rip that away from us, even if we come to the States, even if we speak English, that our language is ours, that our home is ours, our dembow is ours, that our lives aren't sour, because even poverty can't turn off our fiesta, because we are so Dominican that we wear struggles on our back. And we carry that shit proudly. Thank you.
Yes, I think that was the best poem para cerrar esta noche de National Poetry Month open mic with Dominican writers. Thank you so much to every single one of you who tuned in to the YouTube live and watched and cheered every one of our poets. And thank you to every single one of these poets for accepting my invitation, aunque alguno de ustedes le tuvo que jalar los moños para que dejaran su miedo y vinieran a compartir su talento. A reminder that I've been posting these poets for the last 2 weeks on our IG. Please go check them out. Please go follow them. I tagged them. Build community. It is so important, folks, to be part of a writers community because these people are going to be the first ones that cheer you on, the first one to show up to your events, the first one to purchase your books. I'm proud of myself for por lo menos poner un granito de arena with our Dominican community. But I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much, folks. Sigan escribiendo. Keep putting our Dominican name en alto. Keep showing your talent. See you all around. Thank you so much. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Have a good night, y'all.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a good night. Thank you, everybody.
Blessings, y'all.